Ben Rector on Magic in the Morning, 8:36. So we're right on time. Mike Barrett's with us on the other mic. Would be to your left, my right, Mike. Left, right, Mike.
Left, right, Mike. Mike, right, left. I don't know.
That would make you ambidextrous.
Yeah, what a day.
Hey. I'm messing with him because Mike had the day off yesterday with President's Day, and he's got Monday mind going on here.
Oh, big time.
Left, right, Mike, ambidextrous.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. We talk about good insurance policies because it's a very complex industry out there, which is why you do it, and we call you for information because you guys study that stuff and stay up on it here. Did we or did we not? I'm trying to remember here a few weeks, maybe even a month or so back, a couple months back. Did we talk about pet insurance?
I think it was longer ago than that. But yeah, we have talked about pet insurance a little bit.
Okay.
But you know what? Let's talk about it again. Sounds like we should.
Okay. Not that we've had time to think about this yet, but my sweetheart, with the help of her 12-year-old daughter, have gotten us a brand new kitten. And folks, I love the kitten to death. He's gorgeous to beat the band. He really is. He's beautiful.
Gorgeous to beat the band. Never heard of that.
Well, that's like me being number than a box of rocks.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
okay. So anyways, insuring your pets, how does one go about this?
There's a couple of ways. So the first thing you need to do is just start seeing what companies are available. There are numerous companies in the marketplace that offer pet insurance. Among them are some companies that we don't represent, such as one that I had once before, which was AKC Pet Insurance. If you have an AKC registered dog, you are eligible to get that. Then there are some other companies out there. There's a company that writes with Safeco Insurance that offers pet insurance, which we do offer. Great company, but they some of their coverage isn't as comprehensive or in an area that I like as much as the one we're going to talk about today.
Okay. Now,
So I'm not bad-mouthing anybody else, but I'm saying that I liked this one so much. This is the one I got for the big guy out in the truck.
for big old Charlie.
Yeah.
Okay. So folks out there going, why do I want to insure my mutt? Why do I want to insure this cat that I have no idea what breed it is? I mean, you mentioned AKC. Yes, that would make sense, okay? It's a pedigree, right?
Right.
So you're thinking about a very valuable pet. But they all are when it comes down to it.
They truly are. And what you're looking at is not necessarily, you're looking at not only what you've paid for the animal. I mean, obviously they're property, and I hate to call it that. But yes, an animal is property. But anybody who has a pet knows that they're way beyond property. They are family.
Yep.
And so when something unexpected happens to your family member, you want to make sure you can help them out and not go broke. You know, how horrible would it be to be at a point where you can make the mindset of either A, I have to put this loving member of my family down because I can't afford the options of treatment to sustain life. And you want to make sure they have a quality of life, right?
You just nailed as close to home as you could possibly get on the subject matter here, because back the month of October, we had quite a fight with our Tigger.
Yeah.
Okay. Now Tigger was just a stray cat who wandered in, but he was the best friend I ever had my entire life. I had him for almost 10 years. And it took our entire life savings. I have some dental issues. We had saved up some money to take care of that, right? And lo and behold, Tigger got sick, and we spent a couple $1,000s, which was all that I had saved up to try to save my cat's life.
Right.
And unfortunately, we had to make the decision that you talked about.
It's a horrible decision to be at. And I've been there myself with my 16-year-old black lab years ago. And it's just horrible. But what are the benefits and what are the reasons for getting pet insurance? Well, there's a number of them, all right? Now, mind you, for this conversation, we are talking about cats and dogs.
Okay.
That's it, cats and dogs. So for the pet insurance I'm speaking of this morning, it's called FIGO.
Okay.
And FIGO is a great provider. So they have three plans. They have their essential plan, preferred plan, and ultimate plan. Really, the only difference being is their maximum limit of coverage for the year. So you can buy the essential plan, have up to $5,000 as a maximum coverage component for the year. The preferred plan goes to $10,000. The ultimate is unlimited. So if you're talking about some severe treatments, significant treatments, what does it cover? Well, it covers emergency services, hospitalizations. It covers laboratory and diagnostic testing, hereditary and congenital conditions, chronic conditions, cancer treatments. It just goes on and on. Now, then there's a lot of benefits to this program. So you choose the maximum limit of coverage you want for a year policy. Then your next decision is twofold. You choose a co-insurance or like a reimbursement amount and a deductible. So you can choose to have 80% of whatever your expenses are refunded to you after your deductible, or another percentage. I think you can go as low as 60%, or you could do full 100% reimbursement. Then you choose your deductible, whether it be $250, $500, $1,000 or more. Maybe you just want to cover the catastrophic types of losses. For Charlie, I have the unlimited plan with a $500 deductible and 100% reimbursement.
Wow.
And that's the way it works. And you go, well, what if my vet doesn't take pet insurance? Well, the way FIGO works is you pay, they reimburse you. So it's a reimbursement plan. The deductible is not a per occurrence deductible that you would normally find for insurance for like property and casualty. It's like you'd find for health insurance, where it's going to be for the year. Now, the reason I am such a fan of it, now here's the app on my phone. You can see it. Got a picture of Charlie on there. I can press a button to call my vet. I can find other dogs in the area that are I can socialize Charlie with. It's kind of a cool little network. Here's the biggest reason why I like it. On Sunday, this weekend, Charlie was out. He was doing what dogs do outside, right?
Doing Charlie stuff,
having fun, running around. And he came inside, and Jen and I noticed he was being kind of gingerly with his left paw. We're like, that's weird. It was kind of quivering and shaking. So I went over and looked, and anyone who has a dog knows that when you cut the nails, you cut to the quick. You don't cut beyond the quick. The quick is a vein. The quick is going to hurt.
Yep.
He broke it well beyond that.
Ow.
So he has this nail just kind of bent and hanging, like a hanging Chad kind of thing, that a lot of people aren't old enough to realize that reference. But anyway, we move on. So we're looking at this situation going, okay, he's in pain. What do we do? Do we just cut the rest of it off and hope for the best? Well, it's a vein. There's going to be blood coming everywhere. It's not going to spurt, but it's going to be blood all over the furniture and such. Do we take him to the emergency vet just to make sure he goes, you don't want an infection or anything like that? FIGO, I hopped on and I got on with my live 24/7 vet. That's part of my plan. So I started texting the vet, and they responded. They said, send us photos, talk about it. They helped us decide the proper thing to do without having to make drastic changes. They said, please don't cut it, because that would make it worse.
Right.
It's going to heal pretty quickly. Just make sure he's not, he's a lab. So, of course, he's going to lick it, but try to keep him from licking it excessively. And, just cut his nails as they continue to grow. So, and I know it's not an emergency situation, but something like that, it was very comforting to know that we could just reach out to this person was extremely knowledgeable and very pleasant to be chatting with, and took time to really help us understand the proper steps. And that was part of our pet insurance. I thought that was awesome.
The important part, all the coverage, all of the possibilities with the app and the company are amazing. But for our listeners out there, they can relate to this because you and your wife and your son knew that no matter what happened, Charlie was going to be taken care of.
Absolutely.
That's what a good policy is.
That's exactly what the good policy is. We were faced with a tough decision many, many years ago with our black lab, where she had breast cancer and she had to have a double lumpectomy. Paid out of pocket for that, would have done it again, would do it again today. But to know that if, God forbid, something happens, Charlie rides with me all the time. So it could even be sustaining an injury in an auto accident. There's a number of things that could happen to our best friend, my son's best friend, that I want to make sure we won't have a financial hardship for. And that is the purpose of insurance, is the transfer of the risk from you to an insurance agent company. And that is the biggest part about it, because we're deferring and making sure we won't have financial hardship to keep our loved one with a good quality of life.
All right. So for FIGO or others, contact you how?
748-5224. Visit us on Portland Street in St. Johnsbury, online, thebarrettagency.com. If you go to our Facebook page, there's a link where you can just do a quick quote yourself for FIGO, because I share the story that I just had this morning on our Facebook page. You can also find us on Google and YouTube as Barrett Insurance Agency.
And here on Tuesday mornings.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks, Mike. We'll see you next week.
Have a great one.
More good policies. And on the way, some of our listeners' most favorite song of all, James Blunt Monsters, coming up on Magic.